let's look at the teams as they are now, and then we'll figure out how they've made their way here. First off, let's look at Arsenal. Arsenal, they are top of the Premier League table, and they are playing some amazing football. 50 points from a possible 57, I think their record says. Yes. They've won 16 times, drawn 2. Still that singular loss, the one they suffered at the hands of Man United. 45 goals scored, 16 conceded, an XG of 37.3. So you and I love the XGs. So they've outperformed their XG. They've done very well.
I mean, good teams do that. So
good
that's
teams
not
do
too
that.
much of a surprise.
Yeah. Their XGA, that is expected goals against, is just about what the computers or the numbers predicted. 9 clean sheets. Their top scorer is Martin Odegaard. He has 8. I didn't see that coming. That's a bit of a surprise to see Odegaard.
In fact, that was one of my criticisms of him last season. He seemed very goal shy. But I think his confidence, as the last season progressed and this season started, his confidence has come. So he's not afraid to shoot. He's more, because I'm sure you remember there were times last season he's about 6 yards, 8 yards out. He can't shoot and he chooses to pass or something like that, or he takes another touch in a dribble. I felt like his confidence in front of goal wasn't there. But this season, we are seeing his confidence in front of goal to the point that he's scoring from 25, 20 yards. He's willing to take shots. So I'm happy to see his confidence because it's even translating to other parts of his game. He's taking riskier passes. He's more willing to take on his man. He's a bit more assertive. He's getting some yellow cards because he's ready to throw himself into challenges. So he's been Arsenal's quote-unquote most improved player in the sense that he was always good, but now we are seeing him as the leader of the team. There's an argument that he is their best player along with Bukayo Saka, and we can, considering the talent he had and what we knew about him going to Real Madrid, all that kind of stuff, everyone knew it was going to be one of the next big things in world football. We are finally seeing it manifest at a big club on the biggest stage. So it's been great to see, and I would say he's one of the most improved players this season.
You know, let me say this. I've seen Odegaard play a lot this season.
Yeah.
But I think last week Sunday, because it was my Arsenal Man United, I was watching this amazing player.
I think that was actually one of his worst games this season.
For me,
I think the Spurs one he was terrific against Spurs.
He was great against Spurs. But the performance in hindsight maybe wasn't. But just looking at him play, move around, the positions he's getting.
Remember the elastical pass he tried.
That's absolutely crazy.
I think there's, in addition to everything Suso said, there's a bit of immaturity to his game too.
I see.
So then, hitherto where he would want to take on 2 or 3 players, now he's looking around. Okay, who is making the run? And in as much as that comes with player improvement, it also comes with the team being in sync as to how they are playing.
I see.
So once you are in sync, you know where your man is. Sometimes you don't even need to look up. You play in the ball and you know that he's going to be there. So with all that, it makes your decision, even though it may look risky, because there's a cohesion in the team, decision making is a bit more quicker. So you get to catch teams off guard. And that has been one key thing I've seen about him. And also with what Susu said, he's all round. He's all over the place. He's doing a bit of defensive work, attacking wise too. He's just fantastic.
Let's stay on Arsenal for just a few minutes. You've seen this team, and for a lot of teams that want to win a title, one thing they say is that you need to have experience. A lot of people say this Arsenal team looked too young, looked too inexperienced. But they seem to be defying a lot of the critics that this team that is, quote, young and inexperienced are on top of the table and they are ready to give Man City a hell of a battle right up until the end. What do you think has helped this team? Because we don't see teams like this challenge for that, where they are very young, but they don't seem fazed by the challenge.
I think there's testament to a lot of things. You could credit Arteta mainly, and you could also give some credit to the whole Arsenal management and ownership for keeping their trust in him. Because I think even some of the Arsenal fans felt at this stage that based on how they ended last season, where they were close to top 4, beat some big teams in there, and then when you needed to win, they just couldn't do that. They just couldn't close up the business. And even for me personally, I thought they would need probably a season more to challenge for top 4 or be in the title conversation. And they really surprised me. And you can tell that there has been a lot of work going on in the training field. And Arteta is really showing that he's a student of probably the best coach of his era. That's Pep Guardiola. And there are so many similarities, how he sets out his teams, how they are deployed, how they run. Like, if you watch Arsenal's last 5 games, you'd see how much work they've put in the training field.
They are very intense.
It's like their movements, covering and everything is second nature to them. It's like they don't have to think. because it's ingrained in their DNA, it's ingrained in their muscles. They just move and there's something incredible they've been doing. If you watch how they start games, it's similar to how Manchester City started games, I think 2 or 3 seasons ago, where in the first 15 minutes, they want to score. And if you watch Arsenal's games, more than 50% of the games they've played, they've scored within the first 15 or 20 minutes. So once they do that, they've disoriented the game plan you've come in with. So now what do? You probably want to push forward and take the game to them. Then they score another. If you watch their second half season stats, I think they've lost just 1 or 2 second halves. And even in those ones that they lost, they did not lose the game. So there's something about Arsenal. If you even go back to the Man United game, the first 10 minutes, you could see how they played. They wanted to score, but Manchester United then got the goal. But I've also been impressed with how they recover. You look at, I think, the Brighton game or so, where they went down, they're able to gather themselves back.
Against
They
West
kept-
Ham.
Against West Ham. It was West Ham.
That's one of the most important things. And it's something we've accused Arsenal of in the past, that they are not mentally strong, that if they go behind, there's no mental fortitude, there's no desire. Like they wilt, basically. If things don't go their way, they wilt. I don't think that was necessarily that true, but that was the stereotype. And it wasn't helped by the fact that they weren't winning titles. But now that we see them in the title race, and the thing is, even when they go behind, there's an inevitability about them. You feel like the goal will come. And that last 15 minutes against Man U especially, the way they Man U were kind of camped in their own box trying to get out, and they couldn't do it. And the ball just kept coming back, and you're just thinking to yourself, something, like if Man U escaped with a draw, it would have become escape with a draw. That's where the thinking was. It wasn't like Man U grind out. It was escape with a draw territory. So when the Nketiah goal came, I was just like, it was going to happen.
I mean, Saka was looking like prime Robin. He just cuts in and anything he's hitting is on target.
Look, I'm really astonished by a team so young, but yet so intense, but at the same time yet so controlled. You get what they are intense, but there's certain composure about the way they do their thing. So Arsenal top mark